Chair recognizes Councilwoman Gym.
Thank you very much, Council President. So last night, I wanted to bring up two things very briefly, but last night we had an education town hall, thanks to the hosting of Councilman O'Neill and to my colleagues Alan Dahm and Councilman Taubenberger for coming out to share in it. And we'll be having another one in November with Councilwoman Blackwell at Paul Robeson High School. But a number of the things that have come out a little bit have been the fact that the school year has opened up with, a lot of hopes and promises about where we're going to be on terms of staffing. But we have about 108 teacher vacancies still, impacting over 3,000 students across the school district. The teacher vacancies, again, impact the fact that we've outsourced our substitutes out to Kelly Services. We are still waiting to see what the fill rates are, but I don't think anyone in this chamber wants to see a rehashing of what happened last year with the Source for Teachers contract and how thousands of students went to summer school and are receiving compensatory education because they didn't have a teacher in the classroom for the majority of the year. But we still have severe situations of overcrowding and split grades. I would ask that if any of my council colleagues might reach out to their network schools to find out and get kind of an assessment of what's happening within those schools with a particular attention to schools that are missing essential core subjects. So Lincoln High School, for example, is missing an English teacher and a biology teacher. And those are tested subjects. Those are mandatory subjects. It's October 18th. It's October. It's the end of October, and students need to be in classrooms with a full-time teacher, getting their education. School started on September 18th. It's not starting November 1st or any later. So I would just urge my colleagues to continue to reach out, and we're working with the school district to figure out how we're doing it. But at the end of the day, we're over 3.5 years without a teacher's contract. We've got teachers who have 8 years with a master's degree earning what they would receive at 4 years with a bachelor's. And this situation is pretty untenable. It's been that way for a while, but we need particular attention to the teacher's contract. But in the meantime, if we could just take a look at what's happening in our network schools and just count overcrowding, vacancies, split grades, and missing teachers in core subject areas. And then briefly, I just wanted to say thank you to my fellow councilwoman, Maria Quinones-Sanchez, who helped lead an important conversation about the Berks County Detention Center. We may have some communication with some of the Berks County commissioners who are unhappy about the fact that Philadelphia is being very vocal about a family detention center an hour away from us, which is housing almost exclusively refugee women and children in the facilities who've been there beyond ICE's required 20 days. Some of them have been in there for more than a year. No charges, no determination of when this detention ends, no solution, and no resolution, in fact. The detention center has been recommended for closure by the State Department of by the Pennsylvania Department of State. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency has already made a statement and recognized that there are troubling issues when we detain children for more than a year. And in particular, human rights groups have started to come and denounce family detention as being abusive and inhumane. And so I want to thank my colleagues. If you have any questions or need to reach out, we've been invited to go visit the Berks County Detention Center. And so would be glad to work with Councilwoman Quinones-Sanchez, myself, and others who are interested in this issue. But our belief is that this is not a law and order issue. This is an issue of international human rights. It's worthy of international investigation, and it's going to take a firm calling to draw attention and end family detention in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and the country overall. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman.